Welcome everyone to today's webinar. This is really a very exciting area for a lot of our customers, mobile order entry. I have seen many of our food customers and our hard good customers leveraging the S2K mobile order entry app to give the application to both their sales reps and their customers directly to place orders, right from their mobile phones. So this is a really exciting webinar, and I hope you guys get a lot out of it here today. Just want to preface the difference between a web app and a mobile app. A lot of software vendors out there offer web apps, but what you're going to see today is truly a mobile app, meaning that it runs locally on the device. You can work both connected and disconnected, and I'll show you that. We've made some updates to how that functionality works. What's nice about a mobile app is that it uses the touch navigation of the phone. So everything that users are familiar with, the rolling, the scrolling, is all built into the phone. You can access the camera if you need to be, taking a picture of a product for things like mobile proof of delivery, which is a separate application. And it's usually a single function, meaning it's very focused and easy to use. It only serves one function, like order entry or proof of delivery. When you look at a web app, it's usually an application that's, requires a connection. It's connected to the internet. The screens are kind of, just designed to look like a mobile application. It typically runs in a browser, and your finger is serving as a mouse that's kind of navigating through the application. So it's a lot more clumsier. It doesn't really function as well as a mobile application, and certainly doesn't work in a disconnected mode where your users can use it in a disconnected mode. And the disconnected option is very important when you're talking about a food mobile order entry application, because you might have a chef that's in a kitchen or someone that's in a stock room in a basement, and they might not have a mobile connection. So you want them to be able to place their order and go through their stock room in a disconnected mode, and then when they get to a Wi-Fi or connected area, then submit that order in. So it's very important to have that capability. The other thing I wanted to show you is that we're going to concentrate on order processing today, but VAI does have a couple of other mobile apps that you should take a look at. One of them is Route Sales, which is a version of order entry, but it's really designed for selling off of a truck. So it looks and feels kind of like what you're going to see here today, but with Route Sales, the inventory is coming off the truck, right? So you're actually loading inventory on the truck, reconciling your inventory, placing the order for the inventory that's on the truck, and then fulfilling it right then and there. A lot of our candy and tobacco customers use the Route Sales function to sell right off the truck. Some of our delicatessen companies that service delicatessens with meats and stuff like that also use Route Sales. Okay, and then there's a proof of delivery app, which we're not going to cover today, but it's really designed for paperless delivery using your own trucks, where you can get process sales and returns and get the signature captured and take pictures of products. So that's another great app as well. Okay, but today we're going to concentrate on order processing. Okay, order processing application has newly refreshed, so you're going to see some new look and feel to the application. It's really designed, as Kristen mentioned, for sales reps and for customers to place orders directly with their mobile application. So you can give it to your sales reps and they'll have access to all their accounts, or you can give it to a customer and they'll be locked into their specific account. So on this account, on this application, the sales rep or customer can also check their account, and they can look up things like open orders, open AR, sales history, payments, and they can even pay their bills right from the mobile app as well. And I'll show you that here today. When you're giving it to your customers, you might want to brand it with your own logo, and you can brand this application, as some of our customers have, and put it out on the Google Apps or iPhone store, so that your customers can download it and have your logo on there, and they can just download it right through the application stores. Okay, so that's one of our customers here, Seacoast Seafood, who's using it. and they've downloaded their customers downloaded to place their seafood orders. So just a great option for our customer base. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the application. So obviously, when you sign on to the application, depending on whether or not you're a sales rep or a customer, customers are going to be locked in directly to their account. If you're a sales rep, you can search accounts, and I'll show you that in a second. But here's the main menu, right? So what we've done that's new is we've separated the online mode and the offline mode. So prior to this release, this version, we used to have it kind of combined, where if the application had a connection, it would be online. And then when it sensed that it didn't have a connection, it would, switch to offline mode. And what was happening is that when there was a weak connection, the application, got a little confused between online and offline. It would slow down, and it was, bothersome to some of our customers. So what we did is we separated the functions, right? So if you have a good connection, you can work online, which is the top half of the menu. And you can see if I scroll down, there's a section to work offline. So if you know you're going to be in a bad area or you're not going to have a good connection, you can go right into the offline mode, and the system will stay offline for the whole time until you're done placing your order. Okay, so that's something that's new. As I mentioned earlier, if you were a sales rep, all you would need to do is touch on the customer name, and it would let you search for your accounts. Now, these are accounts that are specifically assigned to you. So when you sign on to the mobile app, it knows who you are, knows that you're a sales rep, and the system will, sync down to the device just your customers. Okay, so you could see, only 31 customers of the full database have been assigned to me, and I'm looking at just my accounts, and I can, do any of the functions for any of my accounts simply by, switching accounts. Okay. All right. Some other nice features it has Google Maps integration. So if you click on the little icon there on the main page, it'll just launch Google Maps and, take the user to directions on how to get to the account. So that's very nice. If your sales reps are trying to service their accounts and go visit them, they can just, find their accounts real quickly right off of the, main menu there. Okay. So let's take a look at each one of these menu options and show you the different functions. So the first one is product search. So if I need to search for a product, I click product search. On the top, I can type in the name of the product. It'll do a global string search of the description of the product and or the SKU, if you're looking for a SKU number. And you just type it in. You can see that it's returned to me anything in my database with the word beef in it, no matter where it is in the description. Okay. From that menu, I can drill into the item a little more detail, so you could see some of the things you can see. Item, the product division, the product class, the weight, the dimensions, UPC code. You'll also notice in the middle of that screen there that if I was placing an order for this product, I can enter in a quantity and possibly override the price or change my GP percentage, and it will calculate a price for me. Okay, so as a sales rep, you have that option. Obviously, as a customer, you would not have the ability to override the price. And you can turn that option off on the sales rep side as well if you don't want them, changing price. You can see, because I'm online real time, I'm seeing exactly how many I have in stock. That is also something that you can turn off for your customer base if you don't want them to see how many you have in stock. But you can see right now I have 25 cases in stock. All right. On the upper right-hand corner, where the hamburger menu is, if I click that, you're going to see a little pop-up that says product cost. Again, if you're allowing your sales reps to see cost, they can see cost as well. And you can, turn that on or off. By sales rep, obviously, you would not show that to your customers. Okay. The next option, shop by department, allows you to really look at your product division and classes. All right. And search for, those products by department. Right, so these are your product divisions, and you can click on any one of those. Let's go into the dry goods canned. Right, so dry goods canned, you can see here's all the products in that division. Okay, so you can search by division, and then even within that division, you still have your text search on the top where you can, look for products by name. You also have an in stock only button, where if you only want to see products that are in stock, not the ones that are out of stock. Okay, so that's a quick filter that you just slide over and you'll only see products that are in stock. Just like the other screen, when you're doing the product search, when you're ready to order, you can use the plus or minus buttons, okay, as I did on the right-hand side here, just hitting plus and minus, or you can drill into it and put in a quantity, override the price, whatever you need to do. Any comments you add to the line items will also be sent over to S2K for a line item comment as well. Okay, so you can see on the right-hand side, you can quickly and easily order just by using the plus and minuses on each item if you want to do that as well. Okay. Another option is shop from prior history. This is real nice. So if a customer does a lot of reordering of the same products, they may want to come into this menu option, shop from prior history, and this will show them everything they've ordered in the past. Okay. And there are some settings in the back office on how much history, how far back you want to go. Typically, I think it's 1 year for the sales history. But you could see this is things that they've ordered in the past. And just like on the other screen, you can drill in. You can use your plus and minus buttons. I need some more beef patties here. I want to order some fish, mango juice. You could just kind of go through, the product right then and there and place the order right from your history. Okay. All right. Another option is shop from an order guide. Okay. So if the customer is directly tied to an order guide in the back office, it'll bring up that specific order guide. If they're allowed to search order guides, there will be a list of order guides to choose from. Okay. So some of our people are using order guides very, very creatively. Sometimes they're creating like order guides for holiday items or special items that they're selling, seasonal type items. And they're saying, please go to the order guide for seasonal if you want to just see the seasonal items. Okay. So order guides, a lot of flexible things you can do with order guides. All right. But you can see this is a standard grocery, if you would, order guide. And, I can place the orders, right through the order guide as well. Same functionality where I can drill in and change the price if I need to, if I'm a sales rep, or enter in a large quantity if I need to do it that way. Okay. The next one is order pad. If your sales reps happen to know the items very well, if they know their item numbers, or even customers that may know item numbers really well, sometimes order pad is a nice way to enter an order. You could see on the top, they can simply enter the item number and quantity and hit submit. And it's kind of just like writing it down, but on a pad. Right? It's an order pad. They can quickly go through it, and then they can even edit their quantities using the plus and minus after they get it on the order, if they want to add the quantities that way. Okay, so just a real nice option for quickly entering an order. Okay, the quick order option is typically used by our customers that have like a Bluetooth scanner attached to their mobile device. Okay, where someone like a sales rep or a customer might be walking around their facility and scanning the barcode and adding the items to the quick order pad right here. And they walk around, they scan, and again, every time they scan, it'll increase the quantity, or they can use the quantity buttons after they scan it once, whichever is more easier for the sales rep or customer to do. All right, so that's the quick order function. All right, once you're done, placing your quantities, right, you can check out. Now, I just wanted to show you this before I checked out, that the system is going to keep track of any open carts that have not been sent in. And you can always check this as a sales rep or customer and then send it in, any open carts that you have. But let's go through the checkout process. So when I hit that little, checkout, shopping cart on the top, it's going to take me to the summary screen and say, okay, this is what your order is. Okay. If the customer has an overall discount, that'll show. Sales reps have access to that discount, link right there, and they can change the discount. So if they wanted to give a customer an overall order discount, they can do that as well. All right. They can make final adjustments to the, shopping cart summary here before they check out. Then they basically hit checkout. Okay, it'll, just review the information, specifically the requested ship date. Now, that date will also be fed into the back office for the route control, right? So if you're using our route processing, depending on the date that they want it, it will look at their route schedule. And let's say they wanted it on a Tuesday, but they really are on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday delivery. It'll schedule them for their next delivery date. Okay, so those are just some of the options. If a PO is mandatory in the back office, it'll be mandatory here. If I did have an email on this account, it would automatically have populated there. But the user can enter in an email, and the account is going to get an automatic email confirmation once they place the mobile order. Okay. One of the other options that you have, all right, is payment at the time of sale. If you're a sales rep, you have all of the options available to you, or you can turn them all off if you'd like. All right. So I can take any type of payment. If I'm a sales rep, I could take credit card, cash, check, and this is going to feed our accounts receivable module. And the sales rep is going to be asked to, give whatever payments they received in the field to an accounts receivable clerk who's going to reconcile, how much cash and check that they have based on their batch that was created in accounts receivable. If you're a customer, you would have the credit card option if you turned it on, and a customer can pay by credit card. They have to be online. This is only an online mode option for doing credit card authorization, and they would basically be able to send in a paid order. All right, so this would be prepaid. When it got into S2K, it would show that it's been prepaid by credit card. Okay, so that is an option that you have. You can process payments from the mobile device as well. Okay, so if they're okay with it, basically they hit submit order. It'll just remind them you'll be submitting your order. Once it's submitted, you can't update the order. So there's no updating once the order has been submitted. Any updating to that order has to be done in the back office. Okay, so your customer would have to call and reference their order number that's been given to them, and the back office customer service representatives can make any adjustments to the order as needed. Okay, so you can see that once you do this and you hit confirm, it gives you your order number, and it says an email confirmation has also been sent out to you, and you're ready to go. The order is now in the system. Okay, and you can continue shopping and place an order for another day if you'd like as well. Okay, and I just wanted to show you here that in the back office of S2K, you'll see that mobile order entry order, right in your order details here. So this is the order detail screen, and you can see that order came through. It's already all ready for processing. If I drilled into it, you could see there's the line items, there's the prices. Everything's in the system, ready to go for processing. Okay, so it's very, very tightly integrated with S2K. The mobile app is also pulling all your pricing from S2K as well. So if the customer had any special pricing or anything like that, that would automatically show in the mobile app as well. Okay, some of the other functions that you have, account inquiry. All right, so off of the main line app, you'll see kind of this gray line and then some options underneath it for, account management, if you would, where you can have your customers or your sales rep look up orders for a customer or look up their account balances or notes or contacts or log calls into the CRM system. So there's a bunch of different options that you have there. You have to be online to access this data. This is an online, it's only available on the online menu. Okay. But if you click it, your sales reps can see every single order, that's in the system, full sales history, right? Orders that are on hold, the orders that have been invoiced, whatever they'd like to see, they can look at that. They can search for a specific order. Maybe they know the order number up on top. They can search for a specific order. Or maybe they know a customer's PO number. Whatever they need to search for can be searched on the top, okay? And then, from there, if they clicked on the order, they can drill in and they can see, the line item details here, okay? So these are all the items that were on that order. They can look at a summary information. They also can choose if they want by hitting the hamburger menu on the top. They can email that invoice or that order to the customer again. So if they needed another copy of an invoice, or they wanted to send another confirmation out on an order to somebody, they can do that right from the mobile app. Okay, so some nice functions there. All right. Your account basically shows the sales rep and or the customer their account summary. Right here is a full aging of their accounts receivable. You can see it shows them their aging, and from that menu you have some options. You can see, you can look at your open AR, you can look at AR history, you can look at payment history. And again, you may or may not want to give this access to your sales reps or to your customers, so you would have some options in the mobile app to show this kind of data or not show this kind of data. It's up to you. But what's nice about it, on the open AR tab there that you click, not only can they view their open invoices and see when those invoices are due, right? But they can also make payments from this screen, which is really, really nice, right? So your customers and or your sales rep for a customer can actually make payments here. And how they do that is they would hit the hamburger menu, and you can see the menu option comes up that says partial payment. Doesn't have to be a partial payment, but if they click on payment there, it'll allow them to put in the amount that they want to pay of that invoice. So you can pay it in full, you can pay it partially, all right? And you can go through each invoice that you want to pay, right? And then it will start to check them off that you selected that for payment, that you selected the next one for payment. So you can select as many invoices as you want. And when you hit next, it's gonna, ask you, how do you want to pay? Okay. Again, customers will only have credit card options. If a sales rep is doing this for a customer, they would have the option to do credit card, cash, check, and collect money. And that all of that's going to create a cash receipt batch in S2K in the back office system. Okay. So when you hit submit your payment, that'll create that cash receipt batch and update their accounts receivable immediately in the back office. Okay. The other options that you have off of that submenu are AR history, where you can look at, some of the paid invoices. Maybe you need another copy of an invoice. So the hamburger menu, again, would let you email a copy of, any invoice in history to yourself. If you wanted to get another copy of an invoice, that's really nice. You can drill down and see the details. So customers like that as well, that they have access to previous invoices. And then the payment history, if they want to see any checks that came in. So this is a check that came in, and then what invoices were paid. So it would list the check and then the invoices, check and invoices. So it just basically shows, if they want to see how a check that came in, how it was applied, they can look at, just in summary form real quick here, that the check paid specific invoices on their account. Okay. And again, on the top, you could search for a check or search for an invoice number and see if it was paid by, what specific check. Okay, so that's a nice option under the Your Account menu. Okay, another nice option is Notes. Right, so when your sales reps click on Notes, okay, they can make a note on the account. Okay, maybe they just needed to, put some, information in there. And one of the nice things that I really love about, this mobile app is that when I add a note here and I click on Add, because it's, my phone, I can just speak my note in, right? So sales reps love that they don't have to, physically type anything in. They can just hit the little microphone off their phone and they can just speak in the note, that they spoke to somebody and then that they want certain items to be, on order. And all these notes will sync to the S2K back office extended notes area, okay, that is available both in the CRM application, also on the account inquiry screen. All right, so you can see once they put a note in or speak a note in and hit save, it gets immediately updated to the notes file. Okay, which is really nice. And a lot of sales reps are just using the phone, even for this function. Every time they call an account, they want to go in, speak a little note and let them know that, they talk to the account and want to put some notes in on the account. Okay, another option is contacts, right? So your sales reps might be visiting accounts and you could see that we have one contact DOS already on file there. All right. But maybe one of the things they want to do is make sure that all the contacts are always up to date and they can update, the account contacts right from the mobile app as well. So if they wanted to add a new contact, you could see it'll give them a spot here to say, hey, there's a new produce manager here that I want to make sure that we have in the system. So they can put the new produce manager's, name and contact information right in the mobile app, and that will obviously update the back office S2K contact system as well. Okay, so that's nice. One of the new features is the call history. So we have, with our new Salesforce CRM system, we've really separated the function between notes and calls, right? So we wanted to do the same thing here on the mobile app. So a notes is just, something that you want to notate about the account. Maybe they ask you to do something specific. A call log is really that you physically called them, or you went and physically visited the account, and you want to log that in. And we want to track those two activities separately, right? So maybe the customer called you and you just wanted to put a note in about an account, something they want to order. But if you're making outbound calls or visiting an account, you might want to use the call history, which enables you to log in a call or a visit with an account. Okay, so that's the separation of the two that we now have in the CRM system that your sales reps might want to take advantage of. There's obviously a lot of reports in the back office CRM that shows how many calls the sales reps made, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you'd like to see. So that can be very, very important for managers. So if I go into call history here, if I go into add a new call, you can see you can put in the subject matter of the call. You can put in what was the description of, what you talked about, when the date of the call was and things like that. And when you hit add, you can see that customer service call that I just put in is now on my list of calls. But if I go into the back office, I just want to show you that the app is actually updating the activity history on the CRM system in the back office as well. This is the S2K Salesforce CRM system. And you can see that those calls have been updated, right into the CRM. So if you're using CRM, this is a great function to have access to. Okay, so that's everything. That's everything that the S2K mobile system does. Just wanted to, create a webinar here today that showed you everything that the mobile order entry has to offer. You could see it's a great tool for allowing your customers and or your sales reps to key in orders directly, that will go directly into the S2K ERP system. There's a lot of great function, ability to override price, show availability. A lot of that can be turned on and off with different triggers. And we have a lot of customers that are using this. We've had customers almost replace their call centers with the mobile entry app, where they're giving it to their sales reps, giving it to their customers, and most of their orders now are coming through the mobile app.